Hey guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video, the video game series in which we look at a recently released game and I give you my first thoughts and impressions on it. Today we're looking at Motortown Behind the Wheel, and it's basically exactly that. It's a town full of motor vehicles that do different things, and you can get in each and every single one of them and you can do that job. You can drive around in a really fancy car and just pick people up for hitchhiking and chill out and goodwill, or you can get in a fire truck and do some fire service type stuff. Really interesting concept. It's like taking all of the simulation games and put them into one in a really simplified format. Now this game is in early access and it's very obvious it's in early access, but so far I really like this for just a chill, fun time. As always, we'll look in the options menu and then we'll jump into the actual game itself, and I will give you my first thoughts and impressions on those. Okay, the options menu is pretty basic. Like we said, this is an early access title, but what it's got is pretty decent. You've got a lot of gameplay options here. It's pretty robust for what it is. You've got your heads-up display, you've got your view, you've got your general. Really impressed with just how much you can actually change, including your measurements and everything like that as well. Your graphics, pretty simple here. You've just got your quality and your resolution scale. Again, the graphics in this game are pretty basic and straightforward. Whether they will change and improve over time, who knows? But I get why there isn't a huge amount of stuff here. There's not a lot to render. You've got your FPS limit and VSync on, and your FOVs as well. I like the fact they've got a number of FOVs and you can change them all as you see fit. Your controls, they have keyboard and mouse, gamepad and steering wheel. So interestingly enough, this game does work with the steering wheel. I haven't tried it with the steering wheel yet. I can kind of imagine that it wouldn't be amazing though from what I've played. With the gamepad though, pretty functional, and again everything seems to be rebindable, which is really nice. Assists, so you can have your steering speed, you can turn all that down. This should probably be in controls. I don't think they really needed this in a separate menu. This could have been easily put in controls as well, but it's nice that they've separated it. I guess it keeps it nice and simple and easy to find. And then your sound, basically just master and BGM. It would be nice if they had like a sound effects volume as well as a voice volume, because there is some minor voice acting in the game and you can barely hear it. It'd be nice if you could adjust those volumes as well. That's the options though. Pretty impressive for such a simple looking game. I say simple looking because the game actually has got quite a bit of depth to it. So let's jump in and see what it's all about. Alright, here we are in the game. As you can see, it's nighttime, and one of the things that the game does very well is lighting. You do have indicators as well, and you can use your hazards if you use them both together, and you can turn your lights on and off for the nighttime. That, unfortunately, is where the graphic fidelity kind of ends. As you can see, the rest of the gameplay is very simple, very basic in terms of graphic fidelity, which is perfectly fine because the game is functional and works. One of the biggest gripes I've got with the game, however, is the text overlay. In daytime, you can't really see anything written down unless it's got the sort of opaque background to it that's not very transparent. Outside of that, it's very difficult to see what it's saying because it is very basic font with no like border or anything. So it'd be nice if they would have changed that. But again, this game is in early access. You have a number of different cars that you can drive, and in the top right hand corner you see if you've got a delivery there and how many passengers you can accept and how many passengers you've got. Again, you can choose pretty much any sort of car. You can either summon a car from a parking spot, or you can go around the town and pick a car at random, sort of like GTA style. So currently I've got a hitchhiker. It is also worth noting that you can overheat your engine if you just keep your foot down and carry on. So it is worth noting to not have that happen. it's got this weird top speed thing going on, which is, in my mind, a bit redundant and a bit silly, considering that you can't ever reach maximum speed before you overheat your engine, and that's a problem. Other issues with the game are simple things like here, for example, where I can't just stop the car. I always seem to be moving one way or the other, which isn't really ideal when I just want to stop. If I hold the brake down, then I start going in reverse, and if I hold the accelerator down, I'm going to go forward, so I can't just stop the car. Money is a bit of an interesting one as well. If you've got no money, you don't go into negative figures. You stay at zero. So, for example, I had to tow myself earlier to the side of the road, which would normally cost 1,000 currency, but it didn't. It didn't stop me from doing, and it just left me on zero. That shows that money is not really that worthwhile or needed in the game as yet. I don't know what else you can go out and buy. There is a large variety of vehicles though, which is good to see, and there isn't really objectives outside of objectives that you decide to make for yourself, which is fine, honestly. If you're playing a game like this, that's kind of what you want to do. It's a build your own adventure, and it's very, very good. I really like this. I know I've done nothing but complain about it so far, but honestly, that's pretty much all the bad there is. Like the text update, you know, some minor control improvements, and just nicer graphics would be great. Outside of that, gameplay ability is fine. There is tons to do. The worlds are quite large. They are public servers, and if you don't want to just drive around, you can go for races, you can do time attacks. You've got different presets for your car. There is a lot you can do in the game, and I'm actually really, really impressed. It's kind of like they took Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Simulator and all the other simulators like I mentioned earlier and just said, fuck it, let's have it all in one game. And here we are, and it's really, really good. There are no limits. You can drive off-road, but you will get stuck. The road is incredibly uneven, and you lose a lot of speed. It's fairly, realistic in that sense, but also really not. You'll get stuck a lot easier than maybe you would IRL, for example, but that's not a huge issue. At the end of the day, if you're going to be playing this game and playing it quote-unquote properly, you're not going to be going off-road all that much anyway. And that really is it. That is Motortown, and I am a big fan. I think it's really, really cool. I like the idea of it. I like the concept. I like the way that you just choose your own adventure, and there's different islands, and there's open servers so people can join you and play along with you, and you can play with your friends and stuff. It's really, really cool. If they could sort this whole stopping, not stopping out, that'd be great, because constantly rolling's not great or ideal unless you hit... No, I'm still rolling backwards. But that's it. That is the game. It's really good. I enjoyed it a lot. It's got a lot of potential, and I'm very excited to see what they come out with in the future. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.